Entrepreneurs matter. Now I'm gonna need y'all help because I'm gonna need y'all to like boost everything up here. So y'all gotta repeat after me. Y'all ready?
Ready.
Are y'all ready?
Are y'all ready?
Be bold.
Be bold.
Be bold.
Be bold.
Be brilliant.
Be brilliant.
And be empowered.
And be empowered.
I am ready. We are ready. Y'all probably could have raised it up a little bit more. You know, think about when y'all have a little extra conversation with the children and the spouse, make y'all a little bit, you know, ruffled under the feathers, but that's okay. I'm gonna let y'all pass.
Woohoo!
It takes time. I am so excited today to be a woman entrepreneur. It's been a long time out here, starting our first summit, and really happy to be a part of women entrepreneurs in our area that's making a change, creating a movement. Let's all give Cindy a hand, y'all. All her hard work, dedication to community, to women entrepreneurs, to make sure that we are strong. And I thank her personally because before I met her, it was like this. But now it's like this. Okay. So I am introducing the next speaker, which is Kara M. Boyles, Ph.D., P.E. But before we're Kara, you can come on up, Kara. I do have some gifts for Kara and also for Rachel Thomas Morgan that's not here right now. But we were honored this last Monday to be proclaimed as Women Entrepreneurship Day on November the 19th. So in the city of South Bend and Mishawaka, we are going to be known as women entrepreneurs doing things in our community and celebrating with women all over the world on International Women Entrepreneurship Day, which is Saturday, November the 19th. So without further ado, let me just introduce you real quick. Kara is a city engineer for the city of South Bend. Dr. Kara Boyles became the city of South Bend's first female city engineer in January of 2017. As a city engineer, she oversees the design, construction, and inspection of all public work projects. She has played an integral role in South Bend's comeback by spearheading some of the largest infrastructure projects in the city's history. Thank you, Kara, for your service.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here. I'll try to see if I can be that loud. Rachel does send her regrets. She wanted to be here today. She had a conflict, but it looks like Councilwoman Sheila Nisgatsky is going to be here this afternoon, and she's going to present that. So that's awesome too. So she's going to present that proclamation. But she did want me to express her commitment to this proclamation and commemorating November 19th as Women's Entrepreneurship Day. Okay, so what a great event this is. I was thinking about the intent and the kind of the why about this event, and it occurred to me that I was thinking about your pursuit of health and wellness really is something that it's really one of the most unassuming vehicles for growth that we have. I was thinking about my own personal pursuits over the years in fitness, and I have a side gig that I've had longer than I've been an engineer, which I've been teaching group fitness since I was, younger, and it's taught me a lot. It's taught me a lot about acceptance, right? It's taught me about, sometimes I just can't do everything that I want to do. I have to give myself some space. I have to forgive myself, right? Make peace with things I don't always like to do. I'm an early riser. I get up and I work out in the morning. I don't love that. I don't like doing it, but I do it, and it helps create discipline in my life. And I think that tells us a lot about, helps us form, right, for our career paths or our goals. discipline. And again, it also helps you figure out things in life that sometimes you just have to pivot, through. Sometimes we have detours, sometimes things get in the way, and aging, joints, and then things happen in our lives. We have others in our lives we have to take care of, and sometimes that makes us have to pivot. I'm kind of laying this foundation because I want you to know about who I am. Why is she up here speaking? Because a lot of times people hear that. I think I hear that introduction, and I think that's not me. That's not who I am. I'm the daughter of a teenage mother. My mom didn't go to college. My dad didn't go to college. I didn't even go to a college of engineering at first because I didn't have strong enough ACT scores. Do they even do that anymore? Do kids take ACT still? Okay. I thought they were going to get rid of those standardized tests, which I think they should. But personal opinion. But I ended up transferring into a university and did get my engineering degree. In fact, I'm speaking later today to undergrads at Notre Dame, and it made me realize that it was 25 years ago this fall that I started my Ph.D. And I just feel like it's good for us to think about, that sometimes what we see isn't always what is. Despite all that, I still made my way into this field that is still dominated by men, right? Still dominated by men. We know women make up 47% of the workforce. When you look at engineers alone, it's only about 15 or 16% of engineers are female. We also know that about 10 years into their careers, only about 40% of engineers continue to do engineering. And then if you go 30 years into their careers, most of the women, almost half, are gone. Right? They just do not stay in the profession. So these are startling statistics. Sometimes when I look at undergrads or I look at girls who are entering STEM fields, for instance, it seems like that pipeline is growing, but there still is this problem persisting with women staying in that field. And I'm an engineer in the field, but there are lots of roles for women in this field, right? There are lots of construction-related roles. And if there's anything I would like to convey to you today is it's where you should, if you haven't really thought of a business idea, this is where to start thinking of one. So I also like to brag, though, about my team. When I started in South Bend, and in the introduction it says first female city engineer. When I started in South Bend in 2014, I was the first, we're pretty certain, the first woman they even hired in the engineering department. To no one's fault, when I went to HR to get my packet, they were said, "Oh, are you joining the administrative team?" And I was like, "No, I'm actually going to be an engineer." And they just had no idea. There had not ever been a woman join the engineering team. So, but now today my team is like more than 50% female. So that's my one little brag. Okay. I put this picture up here though because I always feel like it's pretty symbolic. You can see kind of symbolic. Everybody's wearing yellow. I hate that part. But this is 15, 16% right here. Right? This is typical. Right here you can see me because I'm got sunglasses on and I'm also got high heels on. But for the most part, that's pretty common. If you can give me the next slide. I'm going to tell you a little bit about what we do in engineering in the next 5 minutes because I'm already halfway through. So, and I tried to litter this presentation with all my women who work for me. So let's go to the next slide. I'll tell you a little bit, kind of got an idea about what we do. Of course, responsible in engineering for all of the public infrastructure. And so what we get involved in mostly, Michael before me was talking about the Small Business Assistant Suite, but also he has another large undertaking, which is the implementation of minority women business enterprise goal setting and procurement across the city. So in our efforts to increase the spending by the city, we did a disparity study in 2020. So this is pretty unique for a city of our size to have something like this. South Bend's unique also because this goes back to 1987. It was in 1987 when the city passed its first ordinance, and that ordinance was aimed at not just bidding for city work, but also in terms of employment, right? Just ensuring there was inclusive employment across the city. It's a really hard ordinance to enforce, so it kind of sat idle. But soon after this is when the United States Supreme Court came through with some interesting new case law, which provided that in order to set goals across contracts, that you had to do two things. You had to have a compelling interest, and then you had to be narrowly tailored. And in order to have a compelling interest, right, that's anecdotal data. That's the stories that maybe many of you have here, right, about how you've been not able to participate in things like city spending. But it's also what the data really says. And that's what the disparity study does. It dives deep into the data and pulls out how many available minority and women-owned businesses there are, and how many and how much utilization the city is currently doing at this point. And then is there a disparity between those two numbers? All right, so I'll go to the next slide. So we did that study in 2020. I'll keep going. So this shows you. So this is some of the data. This is the boring part. But basically what we do is we look at all the work we've done, and we look at types of projects, and you can categorize a project, and then based on that disparity, we have these metrics now for goal setting. So you can see, like, on a typical street project, so when we're paving a street, if we're spending more than $50,000, then we should be setting a goal of 6% women-owned businesses and 4% minority businesses participating in that work. Okay, next slide. And so it gets complicated, of course. We're trying to navigate procurement. I did put a green sticker on me just because if you have questions about this, I'm more than happy to talk to anyone about how you navigate procuring and supplying for the city. So if you're a supplier, if you provide a service, maybe HVAC electrical services, or maybe you're involved in the construction industry itself, or thinking about it, right, there are these three avenues. I'm down to a minute. Next slide. And we, of course, have to go through and we have to follow state laws, right? We have to follow procurement strategies. So depending on the dollars we spend, and I always laugh, I always feel kind of like, Oprah, you get $150,000, you get $50,000, $250,000. These dollars are the numbers that represent the thresholds for which we do our work. Next slide. And then, of course, the goal setting, the contract goal setting specifically. So any project that we do, any public works projects, or any touching of streets and buildings and structures and parks, we're spending more than $50,000 and we're setting a goal. And so, next slide, as I finish up. We don't need this because this is way too much. But it's a complicated process, but we can make it easy. And with that, I have been told I'm done. Like I said, if you have any questions about how we do that in South Bend, just let me know. Feel free to reach out to me. Am I supposed to do the next piece? No, you're good.
Thank you.
All right, everybody. We're going to take a quick break. Some quick things before you get up. So I'm going to be passing these out to the tables. This is a survey based on who you are and all of that stuff so that we can gather that data. This is your lunch ticket, okay? If you want to eat, you must fill this out and hand it to us on your way in. All right, very serious. Okay. The next thing that we're going to do after our break will be a panel discussion, and then it'll be lunch, so you've got plenty of time to fill this out. But if you want to be first in line, do it right now. Okay. Some other things to know, there's some waters and juices and stuff in that room. Coffee is over on this side, and the bathrooms are back through here and to the right. Okay, so those are the pieces of information that you need. Remember, lunch ticket. All right, go ahead and have a quick break, and then we'll be back in about 15 minutes.